Kofi Amoabeng, From Soldier to CEO, Lessons from a Ghanaian Entrepreneur's Rise, Fall, and Legacy. In the world of African entrepreneurship, few stories are as captivating, inspiring, and cautionary as that of Prince Kofi Amoabeng, the man behind the meteoric rise and dramatic fall of UT Bank in Ghana. A soldier-turned-businessman, Amoabeng built one of the most admired financial brands in West Africa, only to see it all unravel. Yet, through his journey lies a powerful blueprint and warning for Afrocentric entrepreneurs seeking to build businesses grounded in purpose, trust, and resilience. Series Introduction. It's Monday the 13th of October, 2025. Welcome to the 102nd edition of the Entrepreneur Series. As we celebrate our centennial series milestone, we cross borders and continue to look at other inspiring stories across Africa. In today's series we take a look at the entrepreneurial journey of Prince Kofi Amoabeng, Ghana's financial inclusion maverick. If you are visiting us for the first time, please subscribe, smash the like button, share this video and help us grow our family. If you have already subscribed, then show your support by liking the video and making a comment. Now let's jump right back in. A soldier's mindset, the foundation of discipline and service. Born on February 22, 1952, Kofi Amoabeng's early life gave little indication of the entrepreneur he would become. Educated at Adisadel College and the University of Ghana Business School, he trained as a chartered accountant. However, his first major career move was into the Ghana Armed Forces, where he served as a commissioned officer. The military shaped his worldview, discipline, accountability, chain of command, and service to a greater cause. Though he would eventually leave the army, these values would become the bedrock of his business philosophy. "I never intended to be a businessman. It happened by default," Amoabeng. When political instability dimmed his military career prospects, he turned to entrepreneurship. Years of experimentation, the entrepreneur by default. The years that followed were marked by trial and error. Amoabeng dabbled in everything from air conditioning services to wine imports, sawmilling to oil trading. Many of these ventures failed. But failure didn't break him, it taught him. He learned what many books don't teach: cash flow is king, trust matters, and doing business in Africa requires grit and adaptability. He began to see the gaps in Ghana's economy, and one stood out: access to finance. Banks were slow, bureaucratic, and demanded heavy collateral, things most small businesses couldn't provide. Amoabeng saw an opportunity to offer financing based on trust, character, and responsiveness. That idea would become Unique Trust Financial Services, UT.
Disrupting finance, the UT model. Founded in the late 1990s, UT was built on a simple but powerful value proposition: lending made easier. It served small and medium businesses that traditional banks wouldn't touch. UT didn't ask for rigid collateral. Instead, it leaned heavily on speed, personal relationships, and intuitive lending decisions. Amoabeng's military-style leadership translated well into business. UT became known for its integrity, discipline, and agility. In a market where trust was scarce, Amoabeng and UT stood out. By 2009, the company had grown so rapidly that it acquired a universal banking license. UT Bank was born. With the launch of UT Holdings, Amoabeng expanded into logistics, real estate, private security, and more. The UT brand became a household name in Ghana, synonymous with entrepreneurial empowerment. Highs of the UT era: innovation, impact, and influence. At its peak, UT Bank was not just a bank, it was a movement. Entrepreneurs, traders, and SMEs found in it a financial partner that saw their potential, not just their balance sheet. Amoabeng himself became a symbol of indigenous success and a mentor to many. He was showered with awards: Most Respected CEO, Marketing Man of the Year, and a national honor, Order of the Star of the Volta. His leadership style was transparent, flat, and purpose-driven. Internally, UT operated more like a startup than a traditional bank, empowering staff and fostering loyalty. Beyond business, Amoabeng became a thought leader, speaking at conferences and later authoring books to share his journey and business philosophy. The fall, when trust meets regulation. In 2017, the Ghanaian banking sector faced a massive shakeup. As part of reforms to stabilize the financial system, UT Bank's license was revoked by the Bank of Ghana. Its assets and liabilities were transferred to GCB Bank. The reason? A high volume of non-performing loans, related party lending, weak governance structures, and lending practices considered too risky by regulators. The very model that had helped UT grow, informal, trust-based lending, became its undoing at scale. When some clients defaulted on large loans, and controls were found wanting, it triggered a liquidity crisis. The collapse shocked the nation. Employees were left stranded, customers confused, and Amoabeng's reputation took a hit. Other UT businesses suffered collateral damage, unable to survive without the bank.
After the fall, resilience and reflection. In the aftermath, Amoabeng remained candid and calm. He acknowledged mistakes, especially around governance and risk controls. Yet, he also expressed frustration. Many clients owed significant sums, and enforcement was weak. Despite the collapse, Amoabeng did not disappear. He remained active in public life, speaking, mentoring, and writing. His autobiography, The UT Story, offered unfiltered insight into his mindset and mission. Through it all, he never lost his belief in the power of African entrepreneurship to change lives. 8 timeless lessons for Afrocentric entrepreneurs. Kofi Amoabeng's journey, from battlefield to boardroom, boom to bust, offers rich lessons for entrepreneurs, especially those navigating the African business landscape. Purpose-driven entrepreneurship. Don't chase money, chase a problem. Amoabeng saw that small businesses couldn't access loans, and built a solution around it. Start small, learn fast. He failed in several ventures before hitting the mark with UT. Every failure taught him something about market fit, customers, and risk. Trust is a currency. In low-trust environments, relationships and personal integrity matter more than systems. UT lent based on trust when others wouldn't. Discipline builds culture. His military background shaped a business culture grounded in discipline, accountability, and performance. Scale requires systems. What works at a small scale may fail at scale. As UT grew, the lack of strong governance and risk systems became fatal. Regulation is real. Innovation must align with regulation. If regulators lose trust in your model, the business is at risk. No matter how popular you are. Legacy is bigger than success. Even after the collapse, Amoabeng's story continues to inspire. Why? Because he focused on service, growth, and purpose, not just profit. Bounce back with grace. Failure is not the end. It's a comma, not a full stop. Amoabeng's resilience post-collapse shows that dignity, reflection, and continued service matter. The Amoabeng Playbook, a guide for the next generation. If we were to distill Amoabeng's career into a playbook for Afrocentric entrepreneurs, it might look like this. Find a meaningful problem, and solve it deeply. Build relationships before you build systems. Lead with discipline, serve with empathy. Grow boldly, but install brakes early. Don't ignore regulation. Partner with it. Own your mistakes. Learn out loud. Give back. Document your story. Inspire others.
Conclusion. Prince Kofi Amoabeng's journey is emblematic of many Afrocentric entrepreneurial stories, from modest origins, experimentation, fierce ambition, genuine service orientation, scaling to great heights, union of purpose, values, and risk. Yet, it also contains warning signs. What happens when rapid growth outstrips governance, when trust becomes overstretched, when external regulation and economic shocks intersect with internal vulnerabilities? For entrepreneurs on the continent, his life offers both inspiration and caution, the two sides of the same entrepreneurial coin. By studying both, one can better navigate one's own path, learn fast, build deep, scale with discipline, let purpose guide growth, and always build in guardrails, governance, ethics, risk management. Final thoughts, the two sides of the entrepreneurial coin. Kofi Amoabeng's story is not just a rise and fall tale. It's a story about vision, values, and vulnerability. He showed what's possible when African entrepreneurs combine purpose with boldness, and what happens when systems and risk are left behind in the race for growth. Aspiring entrepreneurs across the continent can look to his life not as a perfect path, but a real one, full of triumphs, mistakes, lessons, and legacies. In studying both the highs and the lows, we find wisdom for our own journeys. Because in the end, entrepreneurship, especially in Africa, is not a straight road. It's a rugged trail that rewards the brave, the disciplined, and the deeply committed. If you would like to know more, or wish to discuss brand sponsorship of any of our videos on entrepreneurship, please get in touch on any of the social media handles below. All our content is developed from real-life experiences in a professional and entrepreneurial journey that spans across 8 countries and 4 decades. Quote of the week: money does not dictate your lifestyle, it's what you do to get it and how you manage your finances that determines your lifestyle. Creativeoster.netebo